somewhere in Cold, Minnesota, along the Line 3 pipeline. This is a pipeline construction project being constructed by Enbridge that's going to carry tar sands oil across the Midwest and from Alberta, Canada. This is a very corrosive type of oil and actually takes almost as much energy to produce as you get from it. As you can see, we are out here along the pipeline route where a peaceful protester has climbed into the trench, which you can kind of see over here. So this is a pipeline trench probably about 15 feet deep that's cut into this cold, flat winterland over here, and it's giving an area for the pipeline to be laid into. This is a replacement project for a pipeline built in the 1950s, but Enbridge has been rushing the permits and currently, pushing forward with this pipeline, even though there's a massive amount of indigenous tribes. Over 70% of the people surveyed during a comment period said they didn't want this here, and it threatens a lot of the local agriculture here. There's tons of indigenous tribes in this area that have their sovereign rights for collecting rice and, hunting moose and fishing, and this pipeline directly threatens their route. And because of this, people here are coming out and raising awareness about this through peaceful demonstration. There's tons of local sheriffs here, part of the Fond du Lac Nation. Do you want to be with me on this live stream and talk about why you're out here today? No? Okay. This pipeline has been rushed through Wisconsin and parts of North Dakota because it was mostly following the original route. But in other parts of Minnesota, Leech Nation reservation tribe objected to the pipeline coming through their area, so it's really left only Minnesota for this pipeline to be finished. And because of peaceful demonstration and activism and holds up in the court, this pipeline is actually years behind schedule, which is costing Enbridge a lot of money. And Enbridge is a company that's been around and makes, I think, 69% of all the pipelines in the world. And they don't really pay regulations. They don't abide by the permits and processes. They'll really just rush things through and include fines and violations in the cost of doing business. For those people asking questions, please know it's a little cold outside. It's a little hard to type and see the screen even. So no, I don't think robot police are the answer. Cyborg police, though, maybe. And this is the second location here today where there's been arrests made. Just about 45 minutes ago, an individual was detained after climbing into a similar trench along this pipeline route. Sorry for the angle here, guys. We won't be able to see the person in the actual trench over there because it's against Minnesota state law to walk on the easement which is public land, but now being rented to Enbridge to build the pipeline. So for those unfamiliar with Canadian tar sands oil, it's an extremely corrosive type of oil. It takes a lot of processing to actually make usable. Comes from really marshy bogs in Alberta, and there's tons of indigenous tribes up there that have been fighting this for years and experiencing some of the worst exposures and to deadly chemicals and things. Cancer rates in these communities have spiked since extraction has been going on there. Thanks, Biggie Smalls. I'm covering this for a lot of different affiliates, but have been on the ground here since December. But folks I've been working with have been fighting this, for almost 5 years across the state and the courts. And now, since Enbridge is trying to rush through this pipeline before there's really enough attention given to it, they're rushing to get it done here in the dead of winter. I think it was like -5 degrees this morning, and so that's why it's really important for folks to be out here and making their voices heard when they object to things. So I've driven. I've been driving from North Dakota through Minnesota and into Wisconsin as well, following the progress of this pipeline, seeing what's been done, and also exploring some of the issues that have been going on before. Today I was outside of Superior, Wisconsin, right on the banks of the Superior Lake, where Husky Energy, I think it was 2018, experienced a massive fire there at their processing facility, right next to where Enbridge stores hydrofluoric. I'm actually really apologizing. I'm forgetting the full name of it, but it's extremely volatile gas, and just by the amount they were storing there, it would have decimated and completely destroyed the town of Superior and possibly most of Duluth. From the explosion, and subsequent contamination, similar to what we saw in Beirut. So, just really not the best standards when having communities butt up right against extractionary resources, and there's not a lot of mindful processes when it comes to that. Yeah, so far we have one person arrested and detained, and by this situation, I'm expecting the second one to be arrested here shortly. Hey, good, thanks. Glad to hear the connection's working well. So I'm gonna walk over to my car over here and grab my other camera, but just want to give you guys a heads up. This is, a lot of people were wondering, hey, is this pipeline still going through? Biden put an executive order against pipelines. He actually put an executive order against the Keystone pipeline. There's still oil flowing through the Dakota Access Pipeline, which was the fight which Standing Rock was about all these years ago. And this construction of this Line 3 pipeline to transport pretty corrosive, gnarly type of oil is being rushed to completion here. Give me 1 second, guys. Mounting you to my other camera so we can go and shoot at the same time. Hey, of course, Doug. Glad to be on the ground here. Yeah, thanks, DB39 or 37 didn't really think of that. But actually, no, I'm just kidding. This is actually the point of why a lot of people are out here, is because these type of direct actions slow down the construction, and they also raise awareness for what's going on and the struggles here.
from the brink. Treaty rights, not greedy white. 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 Tarzan's no way. Not ever, not today. 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 No. Tarzan's no way. Not ever, not today. Tarzan's no way. Not ever, not today. Love you, Justin. Love you, Justin. Thank you, Justin. We love you, Justin. Justin.
I'm not exactly sure what you mean by racist, but I'm pretty sure that this is indigenous land and it's being threatened by folks that are not from this land. Hi, do you have a public information officer here? Is he over there? So for those who didn't hear over the really silent microphone that's going on, they're giving dispersion orders as people continue to support the folks that are on the ground, in the trench.
We're here. They shut the shit down.
You can see there's a huge construction crews. These are massive, mostly out-of-state workers, a lot of local here contracted workers as well. But they're here, a lot of different trucks and things like that. Grabbing some more batteries. There's probably about, I would say, 20 or 30 protesters here, but there's also around probably 40 to 50 police. Very unproportioned response. But, you know, they got to protect their industry, so. Okay, for those just joining us, we're here outside the Fond du Lac Reservation, or possibly on the Fond du Lac Reservation. I'm not exactly sure. Here in Minnesota, this is along the Stop Line 3 pipeline route. If you want some information on what that looks like, you can go to stopline3.org. They have a huge map that kind of shows what's been going on. A lot of the construction workers are a little bit peeved not being able to get back to their hotels, but these are out-of-state workers, and I think this is the intention of this group, is to cause disruption to the ability for these crews to work just simply through sitting and sitting with the earth, sitting in these trenches. Alex, you clearly don't know anything or not able to stay on point here and understand what the conversation's about, so try not to engage. Can I steal it from you? You're awesome. Thank you so much. Oh, right there. Here, I'll grab one of hers. Or actually, is yours already hot? Can I get that one? Thank you so much. Let's see if that works. Hey guys, just giving you a heads up, we're probably not going to be able to watch the end of this live stream because my phone is dropping quick, as just are the temperatures. So bear with me.
Jeez. Fucking calling me out like that.
Who do you protect? Who do you protect? Who do you serve? Who do you protect? Who do you serve? Who do you protect? Who do you serve? Who do you protect?
Phones at 7%, guys, and that's probably what the degrees are too.
People over profit!
I actually got a hot pocket given to a hot pack given to me, and my phone's power is going up again now, so we might be good.
Hey, I feel that. Whoever might be, it's just so cool. There's 2 times I was pick up off the top.
Stay strong, Johnson!
I ain't got nothing to do about it, but they fucking. I didn't get no dispersal orders the 2 times I was arrested. They just picked me up off the side of the road. I was just fucking trespassing. They had to drop it. They still fucking swooped me. You guys are a lot more fucking following your own damn rules.
Body cameras all day.
A number of times, just a small group of people. Like, why are you fucking on my way? I already got that off my chest.
Do you know if we're on Fond du Lac Nation or if we're outside of it? Are we on Fond du Lac or outside of it?
I think we are.
Hey, for just everyone joining us, we're here on the Fond du Lac Nation in central Minnesota. We're here at a Line 3, Stop Line 3 protest where groups of peaceful demonstrators have formed and blocked construction work on the Line 3 pipeline. This is a tar sands oil pipeline coming all the way from Alberta, transporting Canadian oil to a port in Lake Superior that's going to be sold to foreign companies. So this is not even like a U.S. oil company. This is a foreign company that's exploiting the natural resources of the state, and that's why these people are out here today.
Thank you, Justin.
So for everyone wanting to see, here's not me. You want to see that? This is the trench over here. This is where the actual pipeline is being constructed. See if I can get a little bit of a higher view for here. Basically, there is someone who's climbed into the trench down there and sitting on top of the pipeline, just relaxing, having a nice little sit. These people have been out here for a few hours, and this is the second point along the pipeline route today that this group has stopped at. For anyone wondering how cold it is, it's so cold that my phone was rapidly crashing even though it was charged into a battery charging, and I was able to give it a hot pack and put that up against the back of the phone, and now we're back out here. For anyone that wants any more information on this or see the pipeline route, please check out stopline3.org. There's a lot of resources there, but this is an action going on among many different communities, and many different people are taking efforts to stop this. When the public comment period was open for the pipeline, almost 70% of the people were expressing deep concern that this pipeline would cause irreversible environmental harm. PFS, I wish that's true, but I don't think so. Also, that's a type of coffee, right? So as you can see, there's a large amount of police presence here for probably just now less than 12 protesters, 15 protesters. Everyone's here is peaceful and being pretty respectful, including the police. But I think it might just be the Minnesota in them. So, hey, Adam needs a break. Biden did sign an executive order specifically referencing the Keystone XL pipeline. That's a construction project that was originally shuttered right before Obama left office, and then once Trump came in his first 100 days, he greenlit that project, and it was continuing. Construction was continuing. Just building up national energy security is a one thing, but spending, trillions of dollars in infrastructure that's really antiquated and bad for the environment and things like that, it's not going to serve us. So I think that's why a lot of these people are out here. But that specific order does not refer to this pipeline. This is a completely separate thing. It's a expansion pipeline that's being built along a route from the 1950s by Enbridge. They make, from my research, 69% of all the pipelines in the world. Or wait, I'm sorry. They make a large portion of all the pipelines, but the U.S. has 69% of all the pipelines because a lot of other countries relied on rail and other solutions or shipping. But the U.S., since it's so vast and far apart, this is what we are doing for energy solutions. So this is a pipeline that is years behind schedule because of battles and challenges in the court and because of people's actions like this. Everything, 100% of all the actions have been peaceful. There's not been any destruction to the pipeline itself. No one's destroying anyone's property. It's simply sitting in and being present and being with the earth. So just to give you a heads up of how many law enforcement are here with us. There's my car. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to go ahead and say probably like 18 cars responding to this. So now we have
Work's over, you can come up!
Hey, yeah, Adam, thanks for thanks for that. Check out stopline3.org to know about more about the project, and honestly share this. People need to know that this is as bad for the environment as things like the Dakota Access Pipeline. It's been said that this pipeline is going to be the equivalent of creating 55 coal power plants at traditional, I think, like 1980s environmental standards, and that's unsustainable right now. We've seen record increases in the heights of the ocean. We've seen record increases in temperatures and things, and so we're gonna be dealing with a lot more variance to our environment, the more carbon, the more methane, and things we dump in.
Yeah, but
Right. I don't know that they're necessarily going to come back. But we're here to make sure that
no, he's talking. He's talking. That wasn't the. I don't. What's the question? The question was that one of your officers came and asked a protester to ask him to leave. Yeah, it's a walk. It's a walkout on his own. Yeah. And we thought that since
We're having a hard
maybe a
time
trusted
shouting.
person can come tell him that rather than having a police officer tell him that it's over. So who's going to do that?
And then we're advocating, we're medics, so we're here to protect that person and make sure that they're
So that person knows you?
Yep, that person will know that we're medics, we're hospice medics.
No cameras? No cameras? So we haven't turned it into a publicity stunt?
Yep.
Then you can walk it. I'll be good with that. Absolutely. I love it.
Cool. So we're seeing the local sheriff's office allow the team of medics go in to check on their protesters who's in the ground. Now that the works has been stopped and a lot of the workers have left, we saw a large procession of trucks, you know, in the double digits. Now we are Hey, so for those just joining us, we're here on the Fond du Lac Indian Reservation in central Minnesota. We're on a protest for a stop Line 3 oil pipeline. This is a pipeline being built by the company Enbridge. This company has been responsible for some of the worst oil spills in American history, and millions of gallons spilled into local aquifers and springs and local streams. And so now they're continuing reconstructing and expanding, widening the Line 3 pipeline, which was originally built in the 1950s. They're expanding it now to carry Canadian tar sands, which are a especially corrosive, especially hard to process type of oil that's extracted out in Alberta. And so far today, we've been following them on the ground for the past few hours. There's been multiple locations where activists have climbed into the trench that's being built in this area. It's a trench to get a visual. So it's kind of dark over here. It's about 15 to 18 feet deep. There's a pipe going in that's about, 2.5, 3 feet across. And these people are going into this trench with workers working down there and just simply sitting and holding space. And because of the harms and risks of that, work has to stop. And this person is later on charged with trespassing and things. So this gives us the chance to to this gives them the chance to bring awareness and to also cause financial harm to these companies.
Do you also live in Minneapolis? Yeah.
For anyone interested in learning more about what this specific action has been about and what's going on here, you can check out Camp McGeezy on Facebook. That's the word camp, MIIGIZI, and I'm posting a link in the chat as well. So, understandably so, a lot of these protesters don't want to leave without their friend and without knowing their friend is safe. So, people are holding space and being respectful and just waiting. Maybe someone is in there because it's filming right now.
Yeah.
There's only 2 fights today.
Is there an ambulance on site in case something?
We got ambulance, we got fire trucks, we got everything
Okay.
we need, but there's nothing mean anything. Flat.
What did you say about the roadway a second ago?
So, like, we all understand the COVID, but
Yeah.
like the reason we are here is corrective,
Yeah.
and like the actual danger that is imposed by a trench is like I never knew about it until I went to class, and it's so what you can actually go over there if you guys want to look again if they let you. There's a little bit of dirt kind of falling down on the sides. What that means is it's fracturing because there's a lot of action, there's a lot of stuff, a lot of vehicles, and that is basically like beach sand. We all tried to make a sand castle, right? You don't do it when it's dry because it just falls apart. We're lucky that it's a little bit dry, or it's a little cold, but the composition of that dirt, if stuff keeps moving and trucks keep coming, that it's even down there a big chunk of it. So and technically no, because if that thing lets loose, all of our equipment to get him out is on those trucks. We're talking like 4x8 sheets of plywood and huge whalers and big blocks of wood and hydraulic systems. The problem is if it does drop, we can't get it back. It'll be a recovery. If that thing shifts, that's the problem. And that's the reality. I'm not trying to scare anybody. It's just like when somebody falls out of a boat, right? It's kind of hard to get them. And once you do, it's too late. That is the danger of all the trench stuff. So I mean, even with that, if you guys could like pass that along to everybody else, like don't climb in those holes because we've been to 3 of them, and all 3 of them have been recoveries. And that's scary. I personally, I like the technicality of it. That's the fun part of learning this stuff. But I don't like getting people out of them.
Right. Yeah.
So I mean, if there's a way, well, thank you guys so much for what you do too.
How'd you manage that?
Rise up, warrior. Thank you, Justin! Thank you, Justin! Thank you, Justin! We love you, Justin! We love you, Justin! Seriously? They're safe in the house. The reason that we had to count him out was so that he knew that, you know, he did what he came here to do today, which was not construction. And as the medic and everyone was explaining that.
So for those still with us, we our person coming out of the trench right now is
including him in danger.
looking a little hurt, a little cold.
Do you need anything?
So everyone just joining us, we're here on the Fond du Lac Reservation in Minnesota, where a second protester has been arrested in opposition to the Line 3 pipeline. This is a tar sands pipeline being built by the Enbridge, one of the world's largest pipeline manufacturing companies, with years of history of leaks and spills, including right here in Minnesota and neighboring Wisconsin. People are out here today to raise awareness peacefully about for investing in this pipeline. No, you're good.
Are you gonna share this? No,
Oh, it's already live, yeah.
Oh, I'm a fire guy.
Yeah.
No, like I was talking to them about the trench stuff.
Uh-huh.
Do you want me to do something in there that says about trench safety?
Yeah, how about I have you do it right here? Give me a second. I'm just gonna block the light from behind you.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, just let me know like what you've been seeing out here and what your advice is.
Okay, when we're out at the pipeline here, of course, it's in a trench. We have to use like huge amounts of safety when we're inside of these trenches because it all depends on the dirt composition. It depends on how much movement, how much action near the sides, everything. Because the last thing we really want to do is have the sides of these trenches cave in on somebody that's in the bottom. Because once you're in the bottom, the weight of that becomes absolutely exponential, and it will crush you, and it will asphyxiate you, and you will literally drown in sand. Even if you had a bunch of people with shovels to get you out, by the time they finally get you, it'll probably be too late. A lot of these trench rescues are actually recoveries, and a recovery, of course, means we're getting a deceased person out. Please use extreme caution around these trenches. They're very dangerous, and they're very unpredictable. That's the biggest part. So that's literally what I have to say about them.
Awesome.
So
I'm gonna mute my.
I've been a part of the series, and they haven't been good. So
Yeah, I understand.
Really
Bringing awareness.
Because seriously, what we can do to help everybody stay safe is kind of a big deal.
100%, man. Cheers. Have a good night.
Yep.
The risk that stand in opposition against Line 3 was extremely, they know that the entities, and they do so because what do we have to lose if we don't? If we don't put ourselves in a position to stop then we're going to lose everything, and none of us will be here long.
For those still with us, we got all of our law enforcement officers are leaving, and a few medics and people remaining, just checking up and making sure their comrades okay. I'm gonna go ahead and sign off, guys. Thanks for checking out the stream. Thanks for all the comments and the support, and we'll continue letting you guys know what's going on here in the future. Thanks.